for the Indians to play quarterback. Be 1st and 10 on the 38 of Covington. Oh, there's a throw. B-Bout up the middle. A little bit long. B-Bout wasn't able to catch that one. It was a little bit over his head. He wasn't able to keep his wheels going fast enough to catch that one. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Indians.
We apologize, folks. We are trying to get this audio issue cleared up, excuse me, as fast as possible.
Chase Pops takes the ball around the right, follows a couple defenders, ends up getting about 4 or 5 yards there to the Covington 33-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Indians. That was a good run by Props going around the right side. He had a couple blockers, so he was able to get a couple extra yards. Fell forward for 3 yards, but it was a good play. Okay, now they got B-Bout out to the wide left. Mac DeLong right behind the tight end. Hands it off to Props right up the middle. Does a little turn move. Ends up at the Covington 20-yard line for another Indians 1st down. That was a great run. He looked like he was right at the 1st down marker. He did a turn, spun right off the defender, and got another 6 yards. Good run by Chase Props there. Okay, Logan Hurst will be at the helm with Jake Hurst in the backfield. B-Bout will be wide left. And Mac DeLong will be the tight end. Right here, Logan Hurst gives the ball to Hurst. He dives forward for about 4 or 5 yards for a nice play to get into the red zone. They'll be at the Bucks 16-yard line now with 2nd and 6. 2nd and 5. It was a good lunge forward by Hurst, but I think his knee was down a little bit early, so they moved it back a couple yards. Okay, Aaron Conley will be taking the ball. Jake Hurst in the backfield, and B-Bout out left. Give the ball to Hurst up the middle, hops over a couple people, lands forward for another Indians 1st down, it looks like. They're going to be looking at it here. Oh, they might be a couple inches short, so it looks like it might be 3rd down and inches to go. Oh, nope, they're moving it. They gave it to him. So it'll be 1st and 10 at Covington's 11-yard line, or 10.5-yard line here. Aaron Conley back with Jake Hurst in the backfield and B-Bout out to the left. Aaron Conley keeps the ball and is not able to get away from the defender for a loss of 1 yard. Mechanicsburg able to move the ball pretty easily here on the Bucks. They've been able to, that's out. They've been able to move the ball and get 1st downs fairly easily without even having to go for it on a 4th down. They've only needed 3 of them so far. This will be a good tale with it being 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9. Looks like he might have fell forward to get a yard. It'll be B-Bout out left. Logan Hurst in the back with Chase Props. Chase goes around the right side. Can he get it to the outside? Cuts inside. Dives forward for the touchdown. That was a great run by Chase Props. He was able to make the outside. Couldn't cut it all the way to the outside. Had to cut it up before the last defender cut off the outside run. But he was able to cut between a couple defenders into the end zone for the touchdown for the Indians. Indians score pretty easily here to start off the game. In true Indian fashion, they're going to be going for 2 here. Aaron Conley will be quarterback with Jake Hurst in the backfield. B-Bout out wide right. DeLong in tight just behind the right side of the line. Aaron Conley gives it to Jake Hurst. Couple jumps, goes around the outside for the easy two-point conversion. Great plays there by the Indians. If the Bucks cannot stop that running game tonight, it will be a long game for them. And, Indians came out running it stoutly. Is that a word, Caleb? Okay. Caleb's thinking. I don't want to bug him right now. So the Indians get on the board first, 8-0. They look good on offense there. Let's see how they do on defense as they kick the ball off to the Bucks. Okay, we're going to get Caleb back on the horn here, making sure you can hear him okay.
Still getting some static on the broadcast, so. But we'll see, because we got a notification from one of you loyal listeners that Tony's voice was doing better. So we'll see how that is.
Caleb, you got to hurry up and get back in here. I'm getting tired of talking.
I know.
All right, Danny Muscadri's set up for the kickoff for the Indians. Give it to the Bucks for their first offensive show of the day. Okay, he did a little pooch kick to about the 30-yard line. It looked like the receiver was down when he got it, or the back, but they gave him about 4 more yards after the carry.
Those yards after contact, I tell you.
They're pretty good, so Bucks will start off on their 34-yard line.
They're very valuable. So the Indians strike first, 8-0, and once again, one of our keys of the game that we didn't get to is the Indians need to establish the run game as they've done all year this season.
Yeah, they've done a great job with that run game, and Bucks are having a hard time stopping it tonight so far.
2 backs, 1 to either hip of the quarterback, shotgun, he's going to take it under center, ditch it out to his left. There's a receiver there, able to get 3 yards, maybe. They'll probably mark him down at 2.
Yeah, that looked like the pass was out to Caden Presser, but Gabe Chandler was there to stop him in the open field, so he didn't get more than 3 yards.
And, of course, the story for this one for the Covington Buccaneers, they are without their starting running back and wide receiver, so we'll see what this offense is able to do. Shotgun formation, a back to the right hip. It's going to be a halfback screen. Able to escape is the receiver, but he's dropped in the backfield, a loss of 1.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to cut up the field there and just slipped.
Number 5, Dalton Weir, got tripped up by the turf monster.
Turf toe got him.
Yep. I was out on this field pregame. It was really nice. It was a really nice field. I love the feel of turf. Yeah, I love it. There's no substitute for natural grass, but I like this.
Now we'll see what the Bucks do here with a 3rd and 10.
Trips receivers out to the left. Shotgun formation, a back on the quarterback's left hip. Drops in, looks to his throws, and it's complete across the 50-yard line. Knocked out of bounds is number 13, Caden Presser.
Yeah, Presser caught that ball. He was wide open. It didn't look like any receiver was on him yet. They were just trying to prevent him from going deep, but in the meantime, he was able to get the first down.
Now that number 20, Brandon Wiggins, their starting receiver, is out, it looks like they're looking to Presser to fill in his absence. Under center, a back, 2 wings, and 2 receivers for the Buccaneers. Sends a man in motion. It's going to be a direct handoff. Up the middle, a gain of 7, still chugging it, and knocked out of bounds. Maybe he got a yard for the extra leg work, but it'll be a gain of 8 is where they mark it.
Yeah, Noah Wolf caught him and was able to hold on and stop him from getting that first down, which was good. But it will be 2nd and 3rd for the Bucks.
Second and 3. It's going to be a handoff. And he gets right to the original line of scrimmage. Actually, they're going to mark him a yard ahead of his original spot. But it'll still be 3rd and short. Indians defense has to hold if the Buccaneers are going to keep running it like this.
Yeah, that's one of Mechanicsburg's strong suits is their run defense, though. So far, the only yardage they really got were based off of the pass that they had.
Man in motion. It's going to be a handoff. And once again, gets right about to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark this. The Bucks are calling for a first down. They gave him a very generous spot.
Yeah, I think he rolled around for a little bit and fell forward for a couple of yards. So.
Coach Forrest is pleading with the referee on the sideline saying, I don't think so. I don't agree. But they will give them the first down. It's 1st and 10 for Covington at the Mechanicsburg 38. Still in the first quarter, the Indians lead 8-0 off a 2-point conversion and a touchdown. In shotgun, it's a deep ball at the 10-yard line, batted down by Logan Hurst.
Yeah, that was perfect defense by Logan. He was able to get back, look back towards the pass, time it so that he can get his hand in front of that ball so that they couldn't make the catch.
Clayton Machino was battling with Hurst, and Hurst smacked himself on the shoulder pad, says, I should have caught that. I should have picked it. But still, good effort to bat it down.
Yeah. First, obviously, your first goal is to not have the offense catch it.
Absolutely. 3 backs. It's going to be a handoff, and it's going to be dropped back for maybe a loss. We'll see where they spot this. It looked like the knee down was in the backfield.
Yeah, Jake Hurst got his paw in there. He dove underneath the blocker and was able just to catch his shoelace and take him down. He did fall forward back to the line of scrimmage, though.
And Covington is using 3 backs. They're sending a guy, he's stuttering, and then coming back for a handoff. So it's an interesting formation. 3 receivers, stagger set to the right, 1 solo to the left. It's going to be a throw out of shotgun to the right side, and it's caught at the 25-yard line. No, the 26. The 26 is where they're marking it. Machino able to redeem himself after the last one.
Yeah, it looked like Machino made a good catch there. He kept both feet in bounds, which you only need one in high school, but he was able to grab it with both his feet out and then get hit out of bounds, but he got a first down.
So now Covington waiting for the orders from the sideline. It's going to be under center, 2 wings, 2 receivers, 1 of each to either side, and a back in the eye. Another stutter in motion, and it's going to be a handoff to maybe the line of scrimmage, but the Indians are going to pull him back after the play was blown dead. It's going to be no gain.
Yeah, they have this offense where they take their tight end and they basically create movement before the snap back to the second back. And then they have it as an option there, like a 3-decision option.
They're going to give him a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 at the 25. 3 receivers, 2 slot, 1 out wide to the left, and dual receivers to the quarterback's right. It's going to be complete to Machino across the 20. A flag thrown, and it's a touchdown, but there is a flag on the field. I have Dave Gingy to my right saying it's coming back. We'll see what the call on the field is.
Yeah, it looked like there was a block in the back by one of the other receivers coming back to him and hitting one of the guys that had an option of tackling him.
There aren't many sure things in life, but when Dave Gingy calls a penalty, you know it's right.
They're talking about it, though, just to make sure he didn't hit him too far on the side.
So while Covington is on offense, we'll take a look at our keys to the game presented by Dave Kale Chevrolet for the Buccaneers.
Oh, they waved the flag off.
And they waved the flag off. Wow. So that'll count. And it's 8-6. Never mind. The keys to the game can wait.
So Covington able to move back into the game quickly with a lot of passes. Their running game isn't very good right now, so Mechanicsburg should be able to adjust a little bit to that, as long as they can keep that running game at a halt.
It sounded like the call up here was for a block in the back, but obviously the refs didn't see enough to call a penalty.
Looks like they're going to be going for one.
They're going to go for the PAT, not trying anything fancy. And it's blocked. Gabe Chandler and Jake Hurst got in the backfield off the right side and sent the ball right back into the turf.
That's good for the Indians. That gives them a 2-point advantage with the same number of scores right now. So if they can keep that up all night, they'll be on the winning side of the scoreboard.
It looked like Gabe Chandler got both hands on it and said, hey, kicker, you lost this. Gave it right back to him.
Would have been nice if he caught it and kept running with it.
Yeah, I mean, but if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, right?
That's right.
The whole world would be Christmas, or the whole year would be Christmas. It's getting close to Christmas. You know what I want for Christmas right now? State title.
The state title.
That's what I want.
That would be a great gift to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, it would. Mechanicsburg has only had one state championship appearance in 2013.
Yep, and they made it to the state semis, and then they lost that game by right at the end of the game.
Yep.
Close call.
So now the Covington Buccaneers will kick it off. Ball set at the 40.
They do a weird kickoff formation where everybody's in tight. They look like they're going to kick it, and then they stop and fake it. Maybe sometimes they go ahead and kick it.
Sometimes they do. I've heard by watching film, and I've seen it, sometimes they'll just go right ahead and they'll try onside from that. But it just throws it off. And that's going to be a deep kick, fielded at the 15 by Mac DeLong. It's a fake handoff to Bebout, and DeLong's got room, cutting up past the 30, shakes his own guy off, and is dragged down by his collar across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. What a return for DeLong.
They had that play a couple of games ago, 3 or 4 games ago, where they did that. They gave it to Bebout. Nobody knew Bebout had it, and he returned it for a touchdown.
They had it at Fairbanks.
Yes. This time, Mac DeLong kept it and got a really good gain back to the 37-yard line.
I was filming on the sideline, and that was the opening kickoff that Bebout returned for a touchdown.
Yep.
And I followed Mac DeLong because I thought DeLong had it, and I had to change over because I realized Keith Bebout was running up the sideline.
That's a good play when the cameraman gets faked out.
A wing to the right, 3 receivers out to the left, and flags come in right at the snap.
Offsides.
Hurst was in shotgun, and it looked like the motion got the Buccaneers a little jumpy.
No, it's against the
No,
Indians.
it's against the Indians, so false start. They had 2 receivers out to the left in tight, and they sent Probst in motion out of the backfield. So now a 1st and 15 for the Indians. And now it's the same formation. Probst goes in motion again. He's going to go out wide to the left. Hurst is rolling, throws across his body, finds Hurst at the 50-yard line. He's at the 40, still on his feet. 2 men to beat. Tripped up by the last one at the 25-yard line for Covington.
What a great trick play. It looks like they're going to go left and roll left. He stops, he goes right. The defender was about 5 yards short of the ball. Hurst was able to catch it and go. He was almost free, too, for a touchdown. The last guy just tackled him.
Usually you don't want to throw across your body, but that fit the play perfectly.
Yeah, as long as Hurst stops like that and makes a step towards the throw, it's not too bad because he's not throwing across the half of the field at that point.
2 receivers, 1 to the left, 1 way out to the right. And it's Probst up the middle for a gain of 3.
Yep, their kicks, Teal had a little bit. He had 2 guys. He couldn't figure out which one to block. Both of them got through. Chase Probst was able to cut it up and get 4 yards on that, though, for a nice gain, making something out of nothing.
Chase Probst has had a series of plays where it looks like it's been blown up in the back, and he's just been able to make a cut. He reminds me of Nick Chubb. He gets the handoff. He doesn't overcommit to anything right away. He's patient. He waits for the hole to develop.
Yep, that'll be the end of the
And that'll end our first quarter. The Mechanicsburg Indians up 2, but knocking on the doors, looking to extend that lead. You're watching the Mechanicsburg Indians Broadcasting Network, Indians football, and we'll go into our keys to the game. So, Tony, I'll let you take Mechanicsburg's, and then I'll build off of Covington.
That sounds great. Okay, Mechanicsburg's keys to the game. It's brought to you by Dave Kale Chevrolet.
Yes.
So
you like that?
I
Keys
like
to
that.
The game?
Keys to the game. Keys to Dave Kale Chevrolet.
Never let it be said I don't have jokes.
That's right. All right, for offense. As you can see tonight, they are feeding the backs. They are giving it to them, and they're doing a good job with that. That is one of the keys. They need those backs to be able to run and get some yards. They look like we want them to bring back that power eye. I think they'll do that if they need it because it was very successful, but they haven't shown it a ton this season. Also on offense, we want them to establish the passing attack.
You got to have multiple different angles, right?
Yes.
long drives in the first.
And then on defense, of course, you got to take advantage of the injuries, obviously. If they're going to be without their starting receiver and running back, then you got to take advantage of that.
Yep.
You want to cover the last two?
And then prevent surprises, anything that Bucks can bring because of that, and penetrate the backfield as often as possible.
They had a good run over to the left. Looks like they might have gotten just short of a first down.
It's going to be a gain of 7, and will it be?
And a gain of 7. It'll be a first down. They are moving the chains. So that's good. We haven't seen a lot of Indians defense. I mean, only one possession for Covington so far. That ended in a touchdown.
Yep. But the Indians are handling the ball really well, running all over the Bucks tonight so far. See if they continue to do that.
B-Bout's out wide to the right. Logan Hurston shotgun. He faked the handoff to Props, decided to keep it, and he's going to lose yardage. About 3 yards of real estate to be exact.
Yeah, it looks like he pulled it back, but then when he went to the right, somebody missed a block, and there was a guy right there waiting for him.
Yep, we saw it against West Liberty. They tried to run it to the outside, but they couldn't get that first block.
We don't want to talk about West Liberty.
No, we don't. Actually, never mind. Forget that I mentioned that. In shotgun, it's Conley. He's got DeLong in on the right side in tight. Hurst on his right hip, and B-Bout out to the right as a receiver. It's going to be a handoff to the left side for Hurst, and Hurst is going to power his way just shy of the 5-yard line to about the 6, where he's pushed out of bounds.
Man, he looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Man on a mission.
Pushing, and his feet kept turning. Ended up getting almost 8 yards after that.
That's what makes the Indians' offense so successful, is they have two backs that are both patient. As I said earlier, they'll wait for the play to develop.
Yep.
They're not going to commit to something too quickly, and a lot of times if you commit and it's blown up, the play loses yardage, but they're able to find exactly where they want to hit.
Yes, and they're very strong running backs that can run over somebody if they need to.
DeLong in tight, Hurst in the backfield, and B-Bout out to the left. It's going to be a handoff from Conley to Jake Hurst, and they're going to blow him dead at the 1. It looked like he rolled into the end zone. We don't have replay, but they're going to call him dead at the 1. First and goal at the 1-yard line for Mechanicsburg.
Caleb, that might be at the 1-inch line.
That might be.
Yeah. All right, that's okay. One more play here.
That's all right. First,
they've been really successful running.
You've got 4 plays from the 1.
Jake Hurst will run through somebody to get in there.
It's the same formation. It's going to be the same result. A handoff to Hurst, and he's in. Mechanicsburg scores again and extends the lead from 2 to 8.
Another great run by Hurst, right up the middle, plowing through people. He didn't even get tackled. He made it up on his feet.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Mechanicsburg says, we're not gonna.
And the Indians here are going to be going for 1. Danny Muscadri for the extra point attempt.
His leg wasn't used enough, I don't think, in the season, so they're going to try to get him some reps here. And it's blocked.
It's blocked too.
The same result as the Covington PAT, and that's going to be blocked. 14-6, though. The Indians ahead by 8. That's what we want.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That was they're running the ball, and they're doing a good job. Everything that we said that the keys to the game for Mechanicsburg offense were.
And now for Covington's offense before they come on the field. I did some research here. They are 11-14 in playoff games against public schools. So you've got to forget the history, okay? As Odell Beckham Jr. says, focus on going 1-0 each week. They got to put that behind them, focus on this game. Of course, their starting running back and wide receiver are both out for this game. You can't let that matter either. You got to have faith in your backups and make sure that they show up, and you got to surprise the Indians with those. You got to catch them off guard, get them on their heels with those guys. And on defense, you got to limit the Indians on the ground, which they haven't been doing so far, but it's only the second quarter. You still got plenty more game to go.
Yep. Prevent
long plays, big highlight reel plays from Mechanicsburg, and you can't let the Indians develop a rhythm. If they start going first down, first down, first down, like they did on that drive, you're going to wear your defense down pretty quick.
Yeah. They're having some trouble stopping 2 of the 3 things that you had them to do on defense. They're not stopping the run, and they're not stopping the big plays. I think we've had a couple, the throw to Jake Hurst was definitely a big play that was successful.
The Indians aren't going to try anything fancy on kickoff. It's going to be your traditional formation. It's a line drive kick, bounced and fielded at the 20. It's going to be fielded by number 6, Duncan Cooper, and Cooper's going to get thrown back. to the 15-yard line, but they're going to mark forward progress at the 19. He did go back. He fielded at the 20, ran back a yard because he tried to go around to his left.
Yep. It was a good play. Again, the Indians aren't fancy about kicking it high into the end zone. Those are just as effective because if he touches that ball and it's a loose ball, that could be anybody's possession from that point.
And the Indians get it right there.
Yeah, and
if he fields it inside the 20, touches it, misses it, Indians are right there.
Yep.
It's a spread formation for the Bucks. 2 receivers on either side in tight, a lone back on the left hip. It's going to be a pass from the shotgun, complete across the 20, across the 25, and brought down around the 27-yard line. That's number 23, Machino.
Yeah, Machino's taken a lot of he's made some good catches and a couple yards after hit, but there he gets stopped pretty easily at the 8-yard line right after he catches the ball.
Machino comes out. Number 4, Austin Flick comes in. 2 receivers for quarterback Cage Schmeiser. In shotgun, a back on either hip. 2 receivers out to the right, one to the left. It's a fumbled snap, picks it up, tries to run with it, and he's going to lose yardage. Can't prevent the inevitable.
Yeah,
this Indians rush gobbled that up.
Once you drop that ball, it throws everybody out of formation and flow, and you should just jump on it, honestly, to recover it.
Absolutely.
But luckily, he was able to get it, look up, but still didn't see anything, and then we got sacked.
If you're Covington, you've got to prevent those plays. Prevent those mistakes. Mechanicsburg's a great team. You can't do their job for you. 2 receivers out to either side. A man in motion. That was number 3, Alex Schaefer. But it's going to be blown dead. Timeout Mechanicsburg. Coach Forrest did not like what he saw out there.
No, and actually right now he's going to be talking to them. You can see him talking to Hurst right now, trying to figure out the receiver situation. There was a receiver that looked like to be uncovered, so that was a good timeout by Forrest to figure that out. He's not happy about it, but it's better
No,
than
he's not, but
resulting
still.
good potential.
Yep, better than them getting more yards than you want.
Yeah, and that's one thing that the Indians will have to do better here as they go forward, is they got to stop these passes from killing them, because that's the only way they're getting yards right now.
And so now Covington comes out of the timeout. The Indians still in the sideline huddle. And so the winner of this one will play either Anna or who did they say at the beginning? Archibald. Thank you. This is why we're benefited by having Dave Dingy to my right. We're benefited from his immense football knowledge. 3 receivers staggered set out to the left, 2 to the right. Shotgun pass. It is caught at the 30. And Gabe Chandler's right there. It's a loose ball. And Jake Hurst dives for it, knocks it out of bounds. Nobody got it.
But it's
So it's going to be out of bounds.
It's got to go out of bounds where the ball went out of bounds.
Yep,
So
the
it'd
ball will be marked
short of
where
the
it went
first down.
out. Oh, way short. It looked like the ball went out at the 20 or the 21.
I think it went out right at the 25. They're going to mark it, so it's going to be 4th and 4.
Schmeiser had a handoff, threw it, and the receiver lost it on the hit from Chandler.
That was a good hit then.
That was a good hit. Indians are going to bring a blitz, excuse me. 2 wings, 1 on either side, a receiver in deep. It's a punt formation. And it's a punt, Caden Presser. And it's going to cross the 50 into Mechanicsburg territory and get down at the 45. Don't think we weren't sly enough to see number 4, Austin Flick tried to punch it back.
He tried to push it deeper in the Mechanicsburg Indians, but as
He
soon as
said, let's
touches
see
it,
if I
it's
can
down."
tap it and push it the rest of the way.
Didn't work.
Nope, the ref saw it. So the Indians will get it at the 46. They've scored on both drives so far. And the refs blow their whistles. A referee timeout. I think they're talking about where they're going to go to eat after this.
Well, they're probably trying to figure out if there's something like I don't know if there's any kind of penalty for doing that type of thing or what. They're trying to figure something out.
And so we've got a couple of good games tomorrow. I know I mentioned them already, but West Jefferson has a rematch against West Liberty
Oh, that's
tomorrow
exciting.
at Sydney.
Yeah,
that is
that's
exciting.
exciting.
That one's for the Region 20 championship.
You know, the only 2 Mechanicsburg losses this year to both of those teams. So 3 teams in the OHC made it to regional finals. Caleb, that's got to be some kind of record.
That is great. They were 6-0 through the first 2 rounds. We'll see what happens tonight. It's going to be Logan Hurst in the shotgun. He faked a handoff to number 25, Chase Props, and then decided to tuck it and run. He got about 2. And the second game I was alluding to, the Mechanicsburg girls basketball team is at the Skeeter Classic Day 2 tomorrow.
That's right.
They played Urbana tonight, and they came up. They went to Urbana, showered after the game, and then took a bus up here
Oh, wow.
to watch the game. Nobody's missing this one.
No one's
Conley in shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Jake Hurst. Jake Hurst up the middle, across the 50, across the 45, and dragged out right about the 42-yard line.
I think it was after he got the first down, though.
Looks like it was. They are going to move the chains.
Man, another strong run by Jake Hurst. It looks like he's going to be down after 2 or 3, and he just keeps on plowing forward, carrying people on his back.
Tearing through this offensive line, or this defensive line, like it's paper.
Yeah, Covington's taking a timeout right now.
And Covington needs to do something to stop this run.
Yeah, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians on the Covington's 43-yard line.
They're down 8 right now, but in the blink of an eye with this Mechanicsburg offense, it could turn into an out-of-control game really quickly.
It could turn quickly. I don't think the Bucks will let it get out of control, but another touchdown will definitely not help their cause.
No, it will not. And it is a beautiful night here at Alexander Stadium in Pickle, Ohio. It's a chilly one, but it's not too cold.
It's 70 and sunny in here.
Absolutely, yes, it is.
But out there, yeah, it's about low 30s, high 20s, but no precipitation and not much wind.
It's nice and dry on the field, too.
Is it?
Yes.
That's good.
And we do have an M.I.B.N correspondent. Bradley Butch is getting some footage for another hype video. Assuming we win this one, I'm going to be back in the editing studio working on something there. So shout out to him down there on the sideline getting us some video. 3 receivers. Trips in tight to the right. Conley's going to keep it across the 40. Dragged down by his helmet. Shook it off, though, and was able to get about 2 yards after that contact for a gain of what looks like 5 to 6.
Yeah, that was a good run. He had a couple pulling guards that came over, a guard and the tackle. He was able to follow them, and the guy that caught him actually jumped behind them and luckily slowed him down enough to only get 6 yards.
They brought in 3 receivers tight to that right side to disguise a pass play, but ended up just keeping it and running it around there and functioning as blockers. DeLong is wide out to the left. Keith Bebout out to the right. In tight, it's Jake Hurst. It's going to be a handoff in the backfield out of shotgun to Chase Probst. He's down at the 30,
no, they're marking him down.
at the 35, and they're going to call him down before. And number 6, Duncan Cooper, started to run back, got all the way to the 40 and said, I have it, but they blew him dead.
They blew the whistle and said, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Said, get back to the line of scrimmage. And so Conley will replace Logan Hurst at least for this set. We've seen Mechanicsburg rotate Hurst and Conley's ever since last year when Conley was a freshman.
Yep.
Shows depth at that quarterback position.
They have 3 yards here. They got to get 3 yards here. And they have Hurst in the background that's been making fun of the Bucks defense. Let's see if he can do it again.
A receiver in tight to the right side. Jake Hurst is the lone back. Bebout's out to the right.
All right.
And it's going to be a keeper from Aaron Conley. Gets just to about the 30-yard line. And Conley's going to come out in place of Logan Hurst.
That's a great read by Aaron Conley. He was going around. He had tons of time. He saw that running north and south was open, ran north, and got the first down quickly.
Number 13, Colin Hartley, comes out as well. .6:23 to go in this opening half. Shotgun, Logan Hurst looks to pass. Rolls to his right, tucks up, keeps it, and gets about a yard short of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, something looked busted there because he looked to throw it, throw it, but everybody must have been really well covered because he couldn't.
Yeah, nobody was there.
Tucked it and ran.
Nobody was there.
No.
And credit to Conley and Hurst. They're both really good at scanning the field and if nothing's there, tuck it and try to make something out of it.
Yeah, both of them are pretty quick.
Yes, but they're both good. There's some quarterbacks where you'll require them to run, you'll require them to make the read, and then make that tough decision that nothing's there, I've got to run it. And some of them will just try to throw it away or tuck it and
Fall.
yeah, and fall. But Conley and Hurst are both really good at running and trying to make the play stay alive. Conley's going to throw back across his body. It's a screen to DeLong, and that one's going to get thrown all the way back to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that one was kind of a trick play, like a screen play, but the Bucks didn't fall for anything, and they had 2 or 3 guys out there ready to tackle.
It looked like it was intended to be a
DeLong.
halfback pass from DeLong, but just never had time to develop, and DeLong didn't have any time to throw it.
Maybe. It looked like the first pass was forward, so he wouldn't have been able to throw it, but maybe it was supposed to be backwards. All right,
The Indians break huddle.
3rd and 14.
Bebout goes out to the left. DeLong goes out to the right. Hurst is in as a tight end option to the right. It's a handoff. No, it's a play action. Conley in the backfield. Fake the handoff to Chase Probst. But it was going to be a screen to
Bebout.
It was going to be a screen to Bebout, and Bebout's going to get right back to the 30-yard line. It's still going to be 3rd and a mile for the Indians. 3rd and 11. 4th and 11.
Yep, 4th and 11, yep. See,
So
now
it
this is
fourth
normally
down.
where the Bucks take over when they kick off to them, so I'm guessing they're going to go for that and try something to see if they can get a little bit of a prayer here.
You know Danny better than anyone, obviously.
This is a little bit long because you're looking at a 48-yard field goal.
That's what I was about to ask you, is where do you
not
think his
easy.
comfort zone is?
Not easy. Not easy.
Loaded to the right is the Indians offense. Conley's going to roll to his right. He's got
Got him.
Bebout wide open, and he's able to hold on. Touchdown.
All right.
Extends his hands into the end zone. He had 3 receivers on him, but they gave him just enough room to make the catch.
Yeah, you can't give him any room. He's got great hands. He's just well. If that ball is anywhere close to him, he'll come down with it. You got to fight for him. You got to fight him for it.
Conley rolled to his right, gave the play time to develop,
Yep.
saw Bebout right there, and put it exactly where the junior wide receiver could find it. And so now the Indians take a 14-point lead, 20-6 over the Covington Bucks.
I'm guessing they'll go for 2 here to try to make up the missed extra point from last series. Touchdown.
Looks like they will. Logan Hurst in shotgun. Jake Hurst to his right hip. DeLong is in tight to the right side. Bebout's kicked out wide to the right. Logan Hurst is going to roll to his right. He's going to tuck it and try to get to the outside, but he's going to get dropped at the 5-yard line, and it'll be no good on the conversion.
Yep, that was not a good blocking thing. Bebout comes up a little bit gingerly, but he'll come over, I'm sure, get some attention before he gets out there for the kickoff.
He was out the first 3 games of the season, and then when the Indians traveled to Cedarville, he made his debut for the season.
Came
It
back
was
with
that
force.
knee. It was that knee that he was favoring it during that injury. So, but I'd say after that touchdown pass, he's 100% back. If you didn't think already.
Yeah, he's already fired up, cheering with the crowd. So
Absolutely. I'd expect nothing less from the young man.
he's not even talking to the trainer, so that's not a big deal.
No. I've always admired that, like when players get a tough hit, and then they say, "Oh, I'll come out, I'm fine." But then, like when you can noticeably tell, like they're in pain, or like it was a tough hit, then there's a point where you're like, "I love your will to play, but sit down,
Yeah.
take a break."
As soon as it gets to the point where it doesn't help the team, that's where you got to make that decision.
Yep. And Coach Forrest is always good at making that tough decision of
Yep.
when to sit, when to keep them in. Always has his kid's best interest at heart.
Yep.
So Danny Muscardry in to kick this one off. It's 20-6. The Indians leading the Covington Bucks by 14. This one's going to get fielded just inside the 25-yard line. And number 6, Duncan Cooper, plows his head, tried to make something out of that. And he's going to get dragged all the way back past the 25.
I don't
but
know
they're
if it
gonna
was
call
worth it for him.
I don't think so either. He got stuffed.
He got hit 3 times in a row with
They're going to
Indians
call
at
it.
full speed.
They're going to call it dead at the 30. Under a 10-yard return, I'm not sure if they're going to call that a win, or if Cooper would have just said, "I should have just waved it off. Should've
Well, he
just
did
caught
kick it to one of the shorter guys, so he wasn't as fast. You could see when he was carrying it, he was kind of trying to figure out what to do. So some of those short guys, they don't get the ball very often on kickoffs.
Duncan Cooper is listed as a running back, but the junior looks pretty big for a set of wheels.
Maybe he's a fullback.
Shotgun. It's a deep pass downfield, just out of the hands of Gabe Chandler, and now fielded at the 25. He's going to get dragged down at the 22. That's a big gain for the Bucs on first down.
Yeah, big mistake there by Gabe Chandler. He came up to try to catch the ball, but he came up too far. It was over his hands, and number 6 from the Bucs, Duncan Cooper, made the catch and was able to get a couple more yards.
Redeem the kickoff with a big play there.
One play, move it up to Mechanicsburg, 23-yard line.
First and 10 at the 24. You were close.
That was close.
2 receivers on either side. Back to pass. Schmeisser's going to keep it. Across the 25, he's going to get hit hard by Bebout at the 10.
I'm surprised he held on to that. Bebout's helmet was right on the ball. Luckily, it did not move for the Bucs. All right, this is where the Indians need to, their advantage on defense will be play tight. They won't let them run. It'll be timeout, the Indians.
And Coach Forrest calls another timeout, I think.
I think that's his
Yes,
last
that
of
is
the
his
half.
last one of the half. So it'll be down at the 11 is where they mark it. So not quite a first and goal.
Yeah, but this is a good position for the Indians to be in. So he wants to get them to regroup because if they're stopping the run, it's hard to pass when you only have 20 yards before the back of the end zone. So they'll regroup to the defense, get them to power up on that quarterback sneak, which they just did, and then hopefully hold them to only 3 points. But their kicker didn't look very good, so I don't know if 3 points is even a potential for them.
Anna's leading Archibald, we heard 28-20.
28 to nothing.
Oh, 28-0.
Yeah.
I can't hear him from over here, apparently. Two receivers out to each side for Schmeiser. In shotgun. Number 32, Trenton Alexander, is on his left hip. It's going to be a slot pass for Alexander. And Jake Hurst and Gabe Chandler are going to introduce themselves to him at about the 9-yard line.
4-yard line.
Oh, yes, 4-yard line.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it looks like they pulled a blitz right off that guy, and it was hard to recover, but it'll be 2nd and 3 at the 4-yard line.
And now platoon swap for the Bucs. 3 new players come in.
Yeah, again, they're trying to force people in the backfield, which is one of the keys to the game, but if they can get that ball out quickly, it's not going to help.
2nd and 3. Mechanicsburg Indians going to try to hold the Bucs here. Everyone's in tight for Covington. It's going to be a delayed handoff. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Bucs.
They missed the tackle there.
That puts the score 20-12. And just like that, Gabe Chandler, a rookie mistake, leads to a big play.
That's all right.
Gets
They'll
them
get
right
that.
in there, and
Yep.
there you go.
Yeah, it'll still be a long night for the Bucs if they can't stop our offense. So
Absolutely. Getting a roll on offense is one thing, but not being able to stop another team is different.
Yep. So here they're going to go for 2 to try to make it a 6-point game.
Schmeiser had his receiver wide open.
Yep.
Number 13, Caden Presser, wide open to his left.
Gabe Chandler on the defense again and not able to get there in time for that one.
An easy throw, easy catch. The Bucs are right back there. 20-14. The Indians' lead is still 6.
Still a lot of football left in the game tonight. Caleb.
Absolutely. Still have 2:14 to go in this half. And what is it, 12-minute quarters in high school, so 24 minutes of game time
Yep.
in the next half. 20-14, that's just a mistake. I mean, shake it off,
Well,
right?
yeah, I think you just got to, I mean, they've been passing on us like crazy, so I'm sure that'll be one of the points that Forrest tries to correct at halftime. If we can try to keep some of those passes a little bit shorter, not let that long pass, like that one long play is really where most of their yards are tonight. But they've had a lot of medium passes that they're just letting go through, and we got to stop those.
Yeah. The point I'm trying to make, I guess, is it's not like there was a series of things that went wrong on Mechanicsburg's defense to give that. It was just one mistake that got them in the position, and they were just able to finish.
Yep.
So Mechanicsburg still able to hold for the most part against this offense. It's just been a couple mistakes here and there that have let the Bucks score their 14.
Yeah, here they're going to just make sure there's no check. Nope.
And once again, they do that fake onside, pop out into an actual kicking formation. The Indians are prepared for it. They start in tight, and then once they see the Covington Bucks back it up, they pop out into their traditional kick return as well. Jake Hurst is going to keep it, gets across the 35-yard line, and he's going to get dragged down right about at that 35.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit further than that and then got pushed back. So it'll be a 37.
They're going to give him the 37, actually, yes.
Yeah. So that'll be good for Mechanicsburg. And again, Jake Hurst is no slouch back there. He could be one of the return men, too. He was able to catch it clean and get a couple little head of steam going. He just ran into a lot of people.
And I'm sure as our audience has noticed right now, we're not wearing coats. It's nice and warm up here this time.
Shh, don't say anything.
Oh, yeah, don't jinx it. The bowl even has their window open, and it's not making a difference.
Sometimes it's nice to hear the crowd a little bit, their reactions. We know this side's reactions because it'll be the same as ours.
Absolutely. Aaron Conley in shotgun. He's going to take the snap, backs it up, throws deep. Jake Hurst wide open. He's got one man to beat. Hartley's going to take care of it, and see ya, Jake Hurst.
Woo! Wow, what a great play. I believe that's the same play they ran against Fairbanks, and Fairbanks could not stop that play. I think they had 3 touchdowns on that same play.
They did.
What a great play. A good open pass right to Hurst. He was able to catch it. One guy there overran him a little bit. And then he kept on running, kept on going. He's in the end zone with nobody around him.
Conley is on the sideline pumping up the fans here, waving his arms above his head, trying to get everybody excited as if they aren't already.
That's an exciting thing when you can come out and you can score that easily against a good Bucks team here.
Especially in a regional final.
Yeah.
And the Indians no doubt feeling good with a 12-point lead, but they're going to want to extend it a little bit by 2, it looks like, as they are going to go for the 2-point conversion.
1 point won't help you here.
It's a play action. No, they're going to give it to Chase Props, and Props had a clean shot into the end zone.
Yeah, that's pretty important there because that gives us a 14-point, and I don't know how well they're going to be able to get 2 points every time they score, so that'll put them right back into a tying instead of ahead by 1 or 2.
With 1:53 left to go in the opening half, a big play from Jake Hurst. Caught it right over the middle, wide open.
Great pass by Aaron Conley, too.
That was a beautiful pass from Aaron Conley. Conley's had several of those in the season, just a light pass, lofts it right in front of Jake Hurst, and catches him right in stride.
When you're 10 yards open, it's a little bit easier.
And good job from Colin Hartley there, reading where he should block and being able to give him a straight shot to the end zone.
Yep.
So now we'll see if the Bucks can answer. And that there has not been a punt yet. Every single possession for Mechanicsburg has ended in a touchdown.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a very good thing. Once again,
I think
in a regional final.
Covington had one punt?
They had 1 punt, yes. They've had 1 less possession than we have, so this will be their 4th shot with the ball.
Yep. So it's been good odds so far.
They're going to have to run a 2-minute drill here with 1:53 to go.
I believe they have all 3 of their timeouts. I don't think they've taken
They have
any
2.
out. Oh, they've
They have
taken
2.
1. Okay.
If the scoreboard's right, they have 2. And Danny Muscadri boots this one, fielded at the 15 by Duncan Cooper.
Reverse.
It's going to be a handoff, excuse me.
Right.
And Colin Hartley reads that one.
He was not allowing them to try the same play that worked for us and it didn't work for them.
No, he was not.
Get them down at the 23-yard line of their own 23-yard line. They have a lot of green to go in a minute and a half.
That Indians rush is always good at reading where people are. It looked like they even split off. Looked like some people went to pursue Cooper. The other ones went for the handoff for Dalton Weir.
I hope that say that was planned, but I'm not sure.
Well, if it wasn't, that's even more impressive. They were able to adopt that on the fly.
That's right.
It's a 5-man front for Covington.
See, they've already made an adjustment. They have Colin Hartley and Gabe Chandler on the same one, trying to double up where the big pass was last time.
3 receivers to the left for Covington. Schwarzer takes the snap. In the shotgun, looks to throw, and it's going to be broken up. Gabe Chandler on the coverage.
All right, good defense there. They had 3 guys. Again, this is where they only can make big plays. A small play here is not going to hurt us. So they're pulling back a little bit more defenders, making sure that they don't have a big pass, which may be what they do the second half.
That pass was right to the 45-yard line, but Gabe Chandler able to get his hands on the ball there and break it up. Schwarzer in shotgun again. 4 receivers. He's going to step out of the pocket. He gets pressured. He's going to try to run it, and he gets short of the 30 to about the 29-yard line. 28 it looks like, actually, upon second glance. And the clock stops because he gets out of bounds. No, the clock's still running.
Well, he stopped him in bounds, and he kind of pushed him a little bit backwards out of bounds, so it should be forward progress to stop in bounds.
Trips receivers staggered out to the right. Scherzer's going to look to one of them. Throws right into the hands of Mac DeLong. And DeLong has a pick.
Oh.
The 32-yard line. And Hurst went down. And he is limping to the sideline in visible discomfort.
Yeah, that was a little bit of extracurricular activity where Hurst got hit after the whistle came.
But it looks like he's still moving around. He's still stretching it out.
Coach Hurst went up to him and said, "Listen, suck it up, Buttercup."
I'm laughing because that's probably exactly what he said. That sounds exactly like what he said.
Yep. Now the Indians have a short field here with 34 yards to go with a minute. What, a little bit over a minute?
Yeah, I know. You got to get up and look. They don't have scoreboards in reasonable positions here.
This is hard work for me.
If this is hard work,
Earn the pay.
I'd like to see what light stuff is. Keith Bebout goes in motion. Conley in shotgun. It looks like he's going to close out this half. 2 more receivers in tight to the right, and a flag is thrown.
The delay a game?
Looks like it delay a game.
Oh, Forrest is not happy with it.
Coach Forrest is not happy.
Aaron Conley's getting an earful right now. It's all right.
I don't think earful describes it.
It might have been more than that.
I'd say 2 ears and a head full.
If the window was cracked, we might have heard it.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right.
I'm sure the Covington fans heard it loud and clear on the other side of the field. Conley in shotgun. Oh, Bebout goes in motion. He's going to block the ball. He has it back at the Indians' 40, and he's going to dance around and ends up going backwards.
That hike hit his foot as he was in motion. Caught his foot, and he had to go all the way back to their own 30 to get the ball.
It goes from the Indians' 39, or it goes from the Buccaneers' 39 all the way back to the Indians' 31.
Yep, that was a bad play there. But
I can't wait to see what this one's going to be. 2nd and 45.
Well, luckily we retained possession here. With 45 seconds left, they're going to have to use some of these timeouts like they just used right now to try to stop the clock as much as possible. But as long as the Indians use as much time on the clock and go up the field, they only have 2 timeouts.
Look at the bright side. At least that wasn't a fumble.
At least it wasn't recovered by
Right.
Covington.
Right.
It was a fumble.
It was a fumble, yes. Bebout got sent in motion, and it hit, looked like off the left foot.
Just
in
raised
stride.
It too. It
Just
didn't
raised
hit
it, yeah. It
Just
didn't even
raised
make
it.
like contact because it hit and then bounced back.
Backwards, yep.
If it would have hit that foot, it would have stayed. It would have bounced actually in the opposite direction than it did.
Bebout made a very smart play by going back. He had time to pick it up. He picked it up. I don't think he gained much, but he used some more of the clock.
Nope, didn't have enough blockers there. He
Right.
knew. You could see he was trying to run it back. He didn't have enough protection in the backfield there. And so Hurst is back in at quarterback. 2 receivers in tight to the right. 1 on the left hip of Hurst, and Bebout out wide to the left. It's going to be a shotgun. Hand off to Jake Hurst around the right side, and he's going to get brought up at the 35.
Yeah, this one, they're going to take another timeout here, which will be their last of the half. But
Stop it at
the
41.
direction is to make sure you do not go out of bounds when you're carrying that ball. That's the key to this
Absolutely
right
do
now.
not.
So now it'll be 3rd and not a country mile, maybe a state mile. but
Yeah, a little longer.
maybe a little longer than that. What is that, about 40? So it'll be third and
41, yes.
41. But again, the dilemma comes that it'll be third down here. They'll waste probably another 30 seconds, 40 seconds with the hike and the time. And then there'll be like 5 seconds left. So you punt it off, and it'll basically be the halftime. So they're okay right now. It's not bad. I mean, obviously you would have liked to
Still have a
score off of that.
14-point lead, though.
Yeah, it still would have been nice to score off of that turnover.
Well, we don't know. Maybe they run that same play and get Hurst again.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to throw it. I think they're going to run it up the middle and use the clock off and get out of here with.
Logan Hurst in shotgun, receiver in tight to the left. One out to the right. He's going to give a handoff to Jake Hurst. Jake Hurst hits contact, bounce around, gets across the 45-yard line, brought down around the 46. And with 30 seconds, we'll see if the Indians want another play.
Yep,
And
so
they're
the
going to
play
call it a
clock-
half.
Yep, the play clock has 30 seconds and the time clock has about 20. So they don't even have to hike the ball here, go into halftime up 14. Then they'll be kicking it off to the Bucs to start the second half. They don't even have to stand out there. They can start coming in right now if they want.
And so 28-14 is how we call it a half. The Mechanicsburg Indians up double the score of the Covington Bucks. We'll see if that holds. We've got a whole other half to play on the Mechanicsburg Indians Broadcasting Network. And we are going to stop this stream just so people know. We will have it back up. We're going to fix this audio issue first, and we will be back up at the second half. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back up in just a minute.